back to Sunday Live time now for Who Owns Kenya. Now, Kenya Commercial Bank, the largest bank in the region based on footprint and market capitalization, is set to have a new CEO at the helm in just a few months' time. Now, this follows a decision by Martin Oduor-Otieno, who has been the bank's CEO since 2005, to call it quits when his current contract expires. That's early next year. Now, during the 7 years Martin Oduor-Otieno headed KCB, he has seen the bank grow to become a regional giant with branches in all the Eastern African countries of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and Southern Sudan. Now, the bank's market capitalization stands at 87.62 billion shillings, making KCB larger than Equity Bank, whose market cap is 86.09 billion shillings. The nearest rival to the big two, that is KCB and Equity, happens to be Barclays Bank, with its market cap standing at 85.27 billion shillings. And by December last year, KCB's asset base stood at 322.2 billion shillings against the nearest rival, which is Equity Bank, whose asset base was at 220.1 billion shillings. Now, perhaps what you don't know about KCB is that the bank started off in the coastal city of Mombasa in 1896 as a branch of the National Bank of India. Now, 8 years later, with the expansion of the railway line to Nairobi, KCB, or rather the National Bank of India as it was then, established a branch in Nairobi at the historic Kipande House along Kenyatta Avenue. A few years before independence, the National Bank of India, or KCB if you like, merged with Grindlays Bank to become National and Grindlays Bank. Upon independence, President Mzee Jomo Kenyatta's government acquired 60% shareholding in National and Grindlays Bank. Then in 1970, the government bought the remaining shares, thereby owning 100% of National and Grindlays Bank. It was after this acquisition that the government renamed the bank Kenya Commercial Bank. Now, years later, the government sold a significant portion of its shareholding, spreading the bank's ownership to Kenyan and foreign investors through an IPO and a subsequent rights issue in which the government forfeited its share of the rights. The region's largest bank has started the process of headhunting for a new CEO. Job requirements, you might want to know? Well, an experienced CEO who has managed banks or corporations with an asset base in excess of 3.5 billion US dollars, that's about 297.5 billion shillings. If you meet this threshold, then Martin Oduor-Otieno's job could be yours. Now, let's take a look at the top shareholders in Kenya Commercial Bank. And we start with number 7. Kenya Reinsurance Corporation, with 0.77% shareholding valued at 690 million shillings. At number 6, we have Old Mutual Assurance Company, 0.78% of shares is what it holds, valued at 693 million shillings. And next, at number 5, we have Kanak Singh Karsandas and Kanak Singh Babla, with 0.98% shareholding valued at 870 million shillings. At number 4, it's a CFC Stanbic nominee account. 1.81% is what it holds at 1.62 billion shillings worth of shares. And at number 3, you've seen it time and time again, it's the National Social Security Fund. They've invested in KCB as well. 7.59% is the shareholding valued at 6.78 billion shillings. At number 2, it's a Standard Chartered nominee account with 8.74% shareholding. 7.74 billion shillings is what that is worth. And at number 1, it still is the Government of Kenya, holding 17.64%, valued at 15.7 million shillings. Our quote of the week now, and it reads, "Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will." And that from a small man who changed the course of a nation, Mahatma Gandhi.